Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and I have a very heartwarming but very metal story to share with you today. So maybe you've seen this floating around social media lately, but a couple recently got married. This was in December actually, and rather than exchanging rings, they exchanged guitars. And I'll show you the pictures of this in a second here. There's a great news article that kind of talks about all the details. And people are calling this the most heavy metal wedding ever. And you know, that could be true. You know, we'll check out the details in a second here. But first, I just want to point out that actually my wedding, back in 2015 to my wonderful wife, Cindy, my wedding was pretty metal. Let's go ahead and let me show you a quick picture here. Look at that right there, back when I had my mohawk in all of its glory. And just think, I showed up to the wedding looking like that, and she did not run away screaming. That pretty much says it all right there. So anyway, in my wedding, I was all metalled out, and I had my mohawk and everything, and we had a pretty good mix CD with some pretty good metal tunes on it. But I didn't show up with a guitar, and I did not play guitar or anything like that. So let's go over and check out this article right here, which, like I said, people are calling the most heavy metal wedding ever. But guys, real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, enough of that. Let's head over here. This is an article from the New York Post. So this article just came out recently here. So let's read this. Most heavy metal wedding ever. Bride and groom exchange guitars, not rings. And look at them right there, okay? It struck an emotional chord. Hey, struck an emotional chord. A headbanging bride and groom found a way to amp up their most heavy metal wedding ever by exchanging electric guitars instead of crappy rings. Unblushing bride Maddie Danger and her hardcore groom Jay Aspen said that they wanted to avoid tired old traditions on their big day. Instead, they aimed for something less stressful and more personal when they tied the knot on December 16th in Idaho Falls, Idaho. It goes on here. The flamboyant couple, both 26, were high school sweethearts and dated for nearly 9 years while bonding over their love of heavy metal music. Quote, "It was really fun because the guitars had been hidden for so long, like when the groom can't see the bride," Danger said with a laugh. "Only a few people knew about it, so some people were shocked, and then they were excited about it." And look at this. Here is the lovely couple right here, looking very, very 80s, very heavy metal, I must say. The article goes on here. The idea to exchange guitars first came about as a joke, but they manifested it into reality. One day we were talking about what guitars we wanted, and we were looking on Gibson's website at the Explorers, explained Danger. I joked about us exchanging those at our wedding, and then we decided to do that instead of rings. The 80s loving couple opted for guitars when they couldn't find any vintage wedding bands that they could both co-sign on. I really like the Victorian style rings, but they're hard to find, and the ones we saw looked really cheap and awful, said Danger. Jay didn't want to buy me a crappy ring, and he doesn't like wearing rings anyway. Yeah, you know, I'll mention that. I wear a wedding ring, but it's the only ring I wear, and I've gone out of my way to get one that's a very, very thin, like this direction band. Otherwise, you hit the fretboard with it and it makes noise. It gets in the way. Anyway, look at this. Here's a great picture with their Explorers, and look at this. They matched the colors and everything. This is great. Okay, now look at this here. Their wedding sort of getaway car. It's a hearse. Okay, classic. The high school sweethearts who walked down the aisle to Ozzy Osbourne's rock anthem, Mr. Crowley, excellent choice, wed in a suitable, spooky, Gothic-style Trinity United Methodist Church. They later took off for the reception in Danger's own retro black hearse. Yeah, she bought it in 2021 for $8,500 from a funeral director. $8,500, that's a pretty good deal, actually, for a hearse. Because people collect them and restore them and stuff, and then drive them around and freak people out. I think that's the main reason for getting them. Anyway, it says, it's quoting her here, "We had it in a very cool Gothic revival church with amazing stonework and stained glass. It's gorgeous," gushed Danger. We waited 3 months for the Reverend to get back into the country to get married there. It was well worth the tuning period. Further down here it says, the couple's wedding had several more metal and Gothic influences right down to the wedding video. A lot of people thought the wedding was actually filmed in the 80s. I zoomed in on a lot of the video, so the quality will have made them think it was shot back then too. So, you know, they're going for that like VHS retro handycam style. Reverend Ruth Marsh can also be heard declaring the smiling couple are individual notes becoming one beautiful chord. Now, I think that's technically not true because a chord cannot be only 2 notes. But anyway, you know, don't worry about that, okay? Before they exchanged instruments and vows. By the way, the 2 classic axes that now bind them in legal matrimony cost about $2,500 each. Well, you know, considering the price of wedding rings, you know, that sounds about right, actually. Okay, and get this here. At the reception, the couple had a cake, which was, of course, cut with a dagger, that also turned the guests' lips, tongue, and teeth black. Hopefully not permanently. And there they are, cutting the cake right there. Well, guys, that's pretty much about it for the article, but I just wanted to point this out. I think this is super cool. I love the fact that they went with a non-traditional ceremony. That always makes it more interesting and more memorable, and I think more unique to the couple. And guys, I'm gonna put like, you know, their public info, like the Instagram account and stuff, down in the video description below. If you guys want to go ahead and wish them congratulations on their wedding. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Huge props and congratulations to Jay and Maddie. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.